Let's move on and look at the fights coming up this weekend, Rob. Let's keep it flowing. We're only going to go briefly through this because it's not a great card. That's unfair, Rob. They may not be household names.
Oh, Jesus.
As you know. UFC 134 goes down this weekend in the Barclaycard Arena, Hamburg, Germany. Which means, folks, you're not going to be up till silly o'clock watching this, but you're going to have to listen to people on Twitter in America going, "Oh my God, what time is this on it?" Aren't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, who cares? It's headlined by Maurico Shogun Rua taking on
Your
Anthony
boy.
Smith. Let's start it there. What's your thoughts on this one, Roberto?
It's actually kind of an interesting fight, I think. Shogun, we've talked about him before. It's crazy that he's still ranked at light heavyweight at this stage of his career. And now Anthony Smith coming in, short notice enough. That wasn't his original opponent. His original opponent was Gus, wasn't it? Gustafsson. So yeah. It's a more favourable matchup for Shogun. They're two similar enough guys, fighting style. Like Shogun and Smith, they both like to strike. They're both Muay Thai strikers. Rua would probably be more of a traditional striker. Although he can get really wild, but I think Smith would probably get more wild more often than Shogun. Shogun usually has a pretty good high guard, but can get hurt to the body. We've seen it a couple of times. But I like the fight overall. I actually do. I think it's a better matched fight than the original one, even though the original one had a better two names in it.
What do you think of Anthony Smith? He seems to be rolling through the names, as in he fought and beat Hector Lombard. He fought and beat Rashad Evans recently. Is it obviously, like you're saying, you're surprised that Shogun is ranked?
Yeah, he's ranked high, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 8th. At one stage he was 3.
He was like 3 or 4, yeah.
But I think he's only ranked because he hasn't fought since... Like, Shogun hasn't fought since March 2017.
Yeah, it's a long time now.
It's a long... And it was a win over Jean Valente. So, do you know what I mean? It's like he is riding a 3-fight win streak. But, like, that's a long time away for Shogun. And Shogun, let me check his age, is 26.
Yeah.
He's like me, he's an old lad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a weird one.
So, like, what I'm getting at is Anthony Smith in a way a younger, faster, sharper version of Mauricio Shogun Rua?
Somewhat. I think, especially the way Shogun likes to fight, he'll stand right in the pocket. They're both pretty static. They don't really move. They're not really on their toes. So I think there's a good chance that this will be the type of fight where they both stand in the middle and throw. Smith will move a little bit more. Shogun's very static. Shogun will stand right in front of you, throw combinations, throw leg kicks, try parry punches with that high guard. But it depends on where Shogun is. It really does. Like, again, you said he hasn't fought in a year. And even back then, although it was a win, John Volante can be a bit hot and cold. You don't really know what you're getting from John Volante. Sometimes you don't know what you're getting from Anthony Smith either. That win over Rashad Evans, while it is, on paper, it's a good win, where was Rashad Evans? We don't know. Rashad Evans retired after that fight. So there's a good chance that these are going to stand right in front of each other. And it could be just who lands the better shots. This is Smith coming back up to 205. I know his last fight was at 205, but he spent most of his career at middleweight. It seemed like his power translated at 205, but that was against Rashad Evans. So, but you can compare Rashad to Shogun as well, age-wise. The Shogun's chin's still there. I'd imagine that Shogun probably has a better chin right now than Rashad Evans does, because it seemed like every time Rashad Evans was clipped, he was getting hurt, whereas Shogun has taken some decent shots.
Here's one.
Yeah.
This is Shogun's first fight since... When did he last fight? Outside of Brazil. So his last 3 fights and 3 wins have been in Brazil.
Yeah.
He last fought... Where was that? UFC Fight Night. That's got to be... Where's that? Jeez, Brazil. So his last 4 fights have been Brazil. So this is Germany that Shogun's fighting in. He fought Dan Henderson. That was in Brazil as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
So his last 5 fights have been...
They put him in Brazil.
Yeah, I know he's the big star, but my point here is how big is this that it's outside of Brazil?
I don't know. Like, depends on what you're asking, but I don't know. I don't think it's a huge factor.
2013 he fought in Australia.
Yeah, I don't think it's a huge factor. For me, I don't think it's a huge factor. They're both travelling. It's not like he's fighting some European. It's in... Where is this? In, like, Germany or something?
Germany.
Yeah, so it's not like he's fighting some European. They're both travelling. If you want to get on the do they test in Brazil type thing, that's another discussion. But I don't think it's a huge factor for me.
I'm a big fan, as anyone who ever listens to this, and when Shogun comes up, I just like a style. I like little, he comes for when you watch Shogun fight, you watch a fight.
Yeah.
He's never lost a fight because he doesn't fight. Just who was it that he just didn't turn up against, where he folded? I can't remember who that was against, but he just didn't turn up. He was getting picked apart and he just folded. But like when
Jones?
No, I don't think it was John Jones. But like, you only have to look at him. He comes into fight and he'll go out in a shield. You only have to look at the Hendo fights to see that. I'm a big fan of Shogun Rua. I'd love to see him get the win here. I just think circumstances, being a long time off, you're talking a year, almost a year and a half, year and 4 months without fighting at 36 years of age. That's a long time. It could also be good recovery because Shogun had taken a lot of damage over his career.
Maybe with these older fighters, maybe that longer time off is much better.
Look, I'm picking Shogun because I'm a Shogun fan.
Yeah.
That's it. I would be apprehensive with that pick. I wouldn't say place money on it. But Anthony Smith has serious power as well, and if he hurts Shogun, he'll chase the finish and get it done.
Yeah, it's for me, this is almost like a heavyweight fight. It's one of those. It's like I feel like they're both on a strike. I think Smith, if he can get into the clinch, where Shogun is good, but I just think Smith in the clinch, his elbows and his knees to the body could really cause problems for Shogun. But if they stand right in front of each other, you know, I think Smith will have a speed advantage, but Shogun's always been that guy who can land that shot. He's always been able to land that shot, even against really, really fast guys. So, to be honest, I think it's like a heavyweight fight. I think whoever lands the better shot can win this one. Shogun's obviously fought the better guys, but it's been a long time. I'm going to go with Shogun as well.
It's interesting. The layoff is a good one because it could be a factor that makes him diminish, or it could be that time he's rejuvenated.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like I shouldn't be picking Shogun in 2018, but I just think it's almost a coin flip. I think whoever lands will win, and I just feel that Shogun's going to be able to land something.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Your co-main event for the evening is Glover Teixeira against Corey Anderson.
Yeah.
Glover Teixeira is he's the number 3 ranked guy in the world.
Is he still?
And, you know, he's not getting higher because of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say about that? He's reached the pinnacle of where he is. You
call him a gatekeeper?
That's exactly what I'm calling him.
Should have just said that.
I was trying to be poetic and I was getting there.
Yeah. Glover. Is he actually number 3?
Yeah, Vulcan is number. This is Topology I'm looking at, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah,
I like Glover. He fights basically with hooks and chokes.
Yeah,
pretty much.
He's
hooks and chokes.
Yeah, like he's a big power puncher.
Big power puncher.
Big, like if he lands, I think if Glover lands on any like lands properly, he'll
because he throws everything into every punch. He never, like, very rarely will you see Glover throwing a straight punch, and Brendan always talks about that straight punches always be looping punches, but Glover's really good with it, and the only thing he uses his lead hand for, his jab hand, is for a lead left hook, or just like the frame. That's it. Just a frame for his right hook. He never throws a jab, you never see it. And he has really good jiu-jitsu, and his wrestling's okay offensively. Defensively, it's actually really good. Like, John Jones had trouble taking Glover down at times, but then John Jones played Glover's game almost, and he got him up against the cage and was absolutely beating the shit out of him with punches. Something that Glover likes to do, and something that, like, if you look at Glover, when people actually back him up against the cage, remember Ryan Bader backed him up against the cage, landed big shots, and then Glover landed that counter right hook, I think it was. So I think with Corey Anderson, I think that those kind of leaping lead hooks can be a problem, because if you watch his fights back and watch what he gets hurt with, Jimmy Manoa, leaping left hook, that kind of stuff, I think that could cause problems for Corey Anderson. He's not the best striker in the world. He's best when he can get his takedowns going. Don't think he's going to get his takedowns going.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Corey will want to take it down. Glover's going to just knock him out with it.
I think so.
To Jimmy Manoa.
Yeah.
Do you want to break through quickly, because I know Brendan is going to be waiting for a phone call for us, but like, what stands out for you here? Mark, do you Casey would stand out badly in need of a win here?
Even going through the card, because I did take a quick look. Vitor Miranda against Azatar making his UFC debut. Miranda, you know, he hasn't looked great. I think he came off that tough Brazil. But this is Azatar's first fight at middleweight, I believe. From what I've seen, he was a bit of a power puncher at welterweight, but But is that going to translate to?
Does his power transit?
Is it going to? I don't know. But I don't really like Miranda at middleweight. I don't think he's had really that many good performances. So I'll probably go Azatar. Mark Diakese, you said was on the card.
Yeah, Mark's fighting.
Yeah, Mark versus Nasrat. This is an interesting one. Mark Diakese, a bit of a crossroads fight for him, isn't it?
Big time. Well, like when you look at who he's like Daniel Hooker, all of a sudden that loss doesn't look.
Neither of his losses look bad now.
Yeah.
When you look back now, the Hooker fight was against a guy who's looked really, really good lately. And the what was the other fight? That was Drakkar Close.
Yeah.
At the time, I thought that was a really bad loss because he came in as a really good prospect, and then Close just beat him. I was like, what the hell? But he's actually looked pretty good recently as well. So those losses don't look as bad anymore.
And you got to look at Hagparas now. His loss to Marcin Held.
Yeah.
Unanimous decision. So you got to favour Diakese on the feet here. His improvements under American top team, I'd imagine, are going to be no end as well with his wrestling. What I'd like to see Mark Diakese do, because there's no questioning what the techniques he can throw.
That's the thing.
And the attacks.
It's the fundamentals, isn't it?
He needs to set it up with fundamentals. And he's got that power. Like if you look at like when Mark won in Dublin, remember that knockout? That was just an insane knockout power. He's got that when you look at the knockout over Kane Musa.
It almost feels like because he's done so well with like flashy strikes, that he's leaned on that way too much. And I don't know if he doesn't have the fundamentals that we think that he should be using. I'm not sure if they're not there, or again, it's just that he's leaning too much on the spinning techniques, the spinning back fists. That he's had a lot of success with them. So you can see why he kind of leaned on them a little bit. Yeah. But I just feel like when he comes up against a guy who has good fundamentals, who Nasrat does, he's a good kind of Muay Thai striker. Nothing amazing, but he's a good striker. Could cause him problems. The only thing with Nasrat for me is like, you look at his record, man, it looks like a boxing record. Like if you look at his first 7 pro fights, so his first 7 opponents had a combined win record of 0.
Wow.
They had 0 wins.
Wow.
It was his 8th fight before he came up with anybody with a win.
That's absolutely
And what is he? What's his record now? Like 10
and 2.
8-2.
Wow, that is absolutely insane.
It's insane. So I think quality of opposition is a problem, but we know Mark Diakese has fought some really good guys. We've seen it. So I think on experience, I'd go with Mark Diakese, but it wouldn't surprise me if he kind of got sucked into that throne, spinning flashy techniques. And
you'd like to think like is like it's great seeing that, but I think his W was important in this fight for his career.
I agree.
And I think he needs to. It's great to do. If you get comfortable and you see the opening, yes, I'd hate to say don't do stuff, but I thought he was going to the well too much with it. Big fan of Mark Diakese. Really nice guy as well. But
the big heavyweight fight on the card is Tybura versus Struve. My pick on that straight off the bat would be Marcin Tybura. Marcin Tybura, his size and frame should have huge problems against Stefan Struve. But Stefan Struve doesn't fight well against guys like this. Fast guys who can get on the inside.
Isn't it weird, Stefan Struve being 8'2" tall, and he doesn't use his reach?
We always talk about it. He never uses it.
7 foot tall, Stefan Struve.
Yeah, 7 foot. It's insane. He never uses his reach. And Tybura is the type of guy who can blast his way into the pocket and land shots. And I feel he's going to probably knock him out. Yeah. I really do feel he's going to knock him out.
Do you think he'll get that? Because Jesus, when Struve folds, he proper folds.
It's weird, like Struve.
I always compare him to that blowy man outside a car dealership in America. Like when he gets hit, he always goes, ooh, he really goes way
like back. It's weird, like Struve is a guy who's huge and likes to fight in close.
Yeah.
And he's a huge guy.
Great thigh clinch, by the way.
Yeah, but he's a huge guy and, really heavy, really fucking huge limbs, and likes to play guard off his back. What the fuck?
This is Street Fighter analogy. This is Dal Sim fighting Blanca, and this is like you being Dal Sim going, do you know what? Let's fight in the clinch, Blanca.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Now stand on the other side of the screen.
Yeah, and beep, beep, Dal Sim him.
Boop.
The other fight on the main card. So you're picking
Tybura as well.
The other fight in the main card is Danny Roberts and Zawada. Don't know a whole lot about Zawada. I know he was in KSW. I tried to check out some of his footage. Couldn't really find a whole lot. But his record is good and he's fought some good guys in KSW and good wins. And we've watched a lot of KSW and there's no real easy fights in that promotion. They're usually fairly well matched. And this is a late notice fight. I think it's only a week. I think they announced it in the last card, so it's only a week notice for Danny Roberts, who had Alan Jouban. So this is a really dangerous fight for Roberts. If he loses this one against a pretty much no-name guy in the UFC, when he could have got a win over Alan Jouban, who has a fairly good name. I think it's a dangerous one. Can't make a pick because I don't know a whole lot about Zawada, but it's a dangerous one.
I'd be the same yourself. I don't know a lot about Zawada. KSW.
The lower level ones are well matched. Obviously, you have the freak show ones, but I think the lower level contendership fight type things, well matched.
I love that, wasn't it? KSW. I was just looking to see who he fought at KSW.
All right,
because I'm a fan.
Yeah, decent records on his record. No 0-1s like Nazareth.